Well, good evening, YouTube world. It is 4:34 on January 30th. 65 degrees here in Lake Park, Georgia. Haven't ridden in a while. It's been even a longer time since I made a video. You can tell I'm not trying to gain money from making YouTube videos. My name is Larry, the Ramblings of Larry. I am the pastor of Lake Park United Methodist Church, enjoying the big life down here in Lake Park. So, what's going on, world? Like I said, I haven't made a YouTube video. I have been slammed busy. We have not overly been affected by COVID. We've had a few people, but we haven't had to re-shut down the church, and we're actually kind of growing. We got an online presence. Look for Lake Park Methodist or Lake Park Methodist UMC Facebook page and like us. You can watch live or the Pastor Larry page on YouTube, and you can see us live 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock every Sunday. So on that deal, man, let me tell you though, not so much COVID related. A couple of them have been. I have done some funerals since the 15th of December. I'm like the funeral guy, so I actually did a video I was on my motorcycle in a funeral procession, and I got done with it. I figured, probably not a good one to produce, so I did not. So here's my topic today, and this is kind of old. Easy Rider Greg out in Arizona, where they're getting a snowstorm. It might be melted by now. They were getting a snowstorm. He talked the other day about his drone, and no more drones for him. And I don't remember if his drone broke, he lost it, or something. But he talked about flying over empty farm fields. Man, let me tell you what, I was just assuming Arizona is no different than we are. As you can tell, I'm all around farm fields. You go stand out there and fly a drone and you don't know the farmer, oh yeah, they get upset. They're real suspicious people. You don't get on farmland unless you have permission and you do exactly as they say, because they'll never let you back again. That's for everything. So farmers are a strange breed of people. Good, hard-working set of people, but a strange breed of people. It's always like they're suspicious that somebody's with the government doing something, even though I don't know a farmer doing a thing wrong in life. We talked about a drone, and I want to tell a funny story about this drone that I bought. I've been to Lappaha, Georgia. This is probably going 2 years ago now. And down the street from me was a young man, probably at that time 9, 10, maybe 11, preteen. Good kid, and parents were drug addicts. We're just going to put it that way. Parents were drug addicts, and he was having to live with Grandma and Grandpa. Grandma and Grandpa were my age, by the way. And, man, I'm doing the speed limit, and people can't hold on to their speed. For a birthday one year, he wanted a drone, and Grandma and Grandpa are kind of tight money. So I'm in Tifton, Georgia, and they have this kind of store where they sell stuff that is, you gotta watch this guy right here. Does he see me? I'd hate to have a semi pull out in front of me. There's a whole lot of swerving to miss the semi. And so, back to the drone story. So they have there's like a clearance store, things that didn't sell well in another store, or a store got bought out or something closed down. Well, they had this drone that was normally at some other store like $120. And I said, well, man, I've always kind of wanted a drone, but I know this kid wanted a drone, and they were selling it for right under $50. It was $50 and some change with tax. And so I said, well, I'll buy a little for the young boy. I won't mention his name. So I get that thing home and I charge it up, and I kind of really realized at the beginning that, man, I don't know much about this drone. So I get online and look all about this one particular drone, and one of the things they said there was a problem with, that the battery power or something got low, the drone would just shoot away, take off, and you couldn't bring it back. And they had a couple people's videos where they'd lost their drone. Okay, all right, got it. So I learned how to go. They had a home feature to it. It had a hover feature where you could bring it right in front of you, hover it. And so I played with that thing 3 or 4 days before I wrapped it back up and put it in a box and wrapped it up for his birthday. And I had an old iPhone that we could use Wi-Fi on, so you could take pictures of the drone. Okay. So I give it to him for his birthday, and I kind of tell him, make sure you always keep it charged and run it with a charged battery on it because, you know, there's a problem. Well, he does that, and he has it for a couple days. He loves his drone, and, you know, Larry is the hero of the birthday. Well, I was back at that same store, and they had a light kit. But they did have some lights on it. You know, the front lights were different. I think it was red and green, you know, or something like that. Yeah, but they had this whole light kit on the blades and everything else. So I bought this light kit. So I had the kid come over. We put this light kit on this drone, and man, and we waited for dark to come, or dusk, right there, you know, dusk, and we flew that drone all over the place. That thing, it looked like a UFO flying in the air. And of course, we got the camera, we're looking, and man, that thing is cool as can be. And I'm thinking I'm going to have to buy me one of these. Well, somebody had seen it and wanted to demonstrate. They wanted one too. They demonstrated. So I go down to the kid's house and say, hey, can I borrow the drone for a minute? You know, this guy wanted to buy one for his farm field. And so we're out there playing with this drone, but he didn't charge it. We're out there playing with this drone just as the sun is setting. That drone all of a sudden shoots straight up real high in the sky, and I'm hitting the home button, I'm holding it down, trying to go down, and all of a sudden it just shoots straight away from us. I mean, about like a UFO, like it had a mind of its own. And we searched for 2 days. I even put a poster up. We could never, ever find that drone. I imagine somebody found it by now. It was in a tree or something. And so that's my drone story there, Greg. And I felt so bad, but the parents or the grandparents really didn't want them to have another one. And so I had the receipt, and I gave them $50 cash to kind of replace the drone. And I guess we're okay. We moved shortly after that, so on there. So that's my drone story. Don't give a kid a drone. Don't give a kid a drone and expect him to and go back and play with it. Oh, but that kid was so disappointed that night. And he was about in tears, and he realized I didn't do it on purpose. And I had warned him about that in the front, but so he took it well, but he was upset that he lost his drone. The guy gives it to him, it's the guy that loses it. So on that deal is, all right, we're going to go towards Statenville. We got a pretty good full tank of gas, so I am out just riding around. It has been a 2 or 3 weeks, I think about 2 weeks. I had a pastor friend of mine. The guy was 80 some years old. I had picked up a Yamaha Virago 500 or 550 or something like that. There was a part. And so I put it together and had it running pretty good. I'm a big guy. Stateville, make a right. We're just going to run to Stateville real quick. I don't know, I haven't been there in a while. I don't know if there's anything even worth going there at this late at night. Okay, there we go. Fargo. There is nothing in Fargo. Let me do this real quick, and I'll bring up a Fargo story for you. But you know, and I gave him this motorcycle probably 10 years ago or 5 years ago. It was a while back. And we rode together quite a bit. his wife who got just sick. She was just kind of a sickly woman. She was late 70s and he was like 80. I think she was 79, he was 80. And she just went downhill quick. Wasn't a COVID thing or anything. She passed away. Right after we had the Marines toy ride. Right after that, he rode the toy ride with me. My thought was, man, I hope at 80 years old, I hope at 80 I'm still riding a motorcycle of some kind. And so I've done the wife's funeral. We talked about going for a ride. It was a cold, rainy day the day we did the funeral. Well, he had asthma. Next thing you know, he's sick. He gets pneumonia from being out in the cold for too long. Long story short is he died 2 weeks after his wife died. She died right before Christmas, and he died right in the beginning of January, less than 30 days apart. So that was just kind of sad news there. Let me tell a Fargo story. Get all your maps out and look at Fargo. I've been to Lappahaw. And so for you all that don't know, that aren't Methodist or involved with Methodist churches, Methodist is much like the military. Okay. Here's a little town. I think the Bodine 52 we were talking about, little itty bitty town. And there's 129. I'm going to take a left on 129. I do like to go to these little towns and drive around, just for the simple fact is, oh shoot, I just enjoy the little towns. I mean, you just look at these little towns and you can kind of see, one time when towns were, 5 miles was a long distance to travel. These little towns were bustling, especially on Saturday. Okay, I'll go to Stockton here, and we'll turn back. But so Fargo is about as far as you can go and still be in Georgia. Well, we got a Methodist church there. Of course, we got Methodist churches everywhere. We're all over the East Coast. And I had a funeral at a Baptist church I was doing. I'm the funeral guy, by the way. It just seems like I do a lot of funerals. Need somebody buried? Call me. That's just a joke there. But so, I'm going along, and on this is, I'm on this funeral. So I stop at the Methodist church because I know the pastor over there. And it's 441, I think, it's the highway it's on. It is in the middle of the swamp, literally. When you're driving, the water is up, there's gators, and you drive it in the summertime in the evening, you better have a windshield on your bike because you're going to get pelted by bugs. It's just the way it is. I go there to this church. Well, I turn the water. I think I used the restroom or something. Turn the water and it come out brown. It was just that church was in the middle of nowhere, and not very many people go into it and stuff. And they were really hurting for membership. And it seems to be, I go to churches. That's where they send me, is churches that need to be built up. Man, I went home. We got what we call a district superintendent. And I called that district superintendent up and said, you send me to Fargo, I quit. And I'm not going to Fargo. I mean, there was nothing around. Waycross was like, that's a pretty good sized town, Waycross. It's like 60 miles one way. Valdosta is 40 miles one way. I mean, the closest Walmart is 60 miles away. And other stores, there's nothing in the little town. There is, because it's a big hunting and fishing area. People fly in. There's a big hunting reserve where they bring in exotic animals to hunt. So there is a airport out in the middle of the swamp. Don't lie. There's a little airport in the middle of the swamp, uncontrolled airport, and you'll see these nice Lear jets or nice prop job airplanes land, and guys get off with their guns. And there's actually a little nice little hotel in town too. But other than that, there ain't a thing going on in Fargo. And so I told the boss man, I said, Alapahoe, as far as I go, if you give me to Fargo, I'm out of here. And so sadly, they closed that church down about a year later. They couldn't get anybody to go out there. And so it was in the middle of town. There's not a whole lot of people in that area. So, all right, now you got two stories out of one. Maybe one day I'll do a trip out there and do a drive around Fargo. It's out in the middle of nowhere in the swamp. I'm not really a swamp person, but I'm telling you, you're driving down the road, there's an alligator sitting on the side of the road, or snakes and stuff. I mean, I feel like I'm in Louisiana. Holy crap, I'm speeding like a Dickens here. There we go. I don't want to get pulled over. These little towns, they will pull you over in a hurry because they need the revenue. So let me set cruise control. Cruise control set at 60. Engage. Anybody heard out of Harley Trek lately? I know he hung around with Mike 87 and Moose and I think HDR. I haven't heard anything out of him. I know he's going through some hard times. So if you got you hear out of Harley Trek, you know something about him, put a comment down below. Like that down below. Look up here for looking at. I don't know how to do that. So with that, I think for now I might make another video on the way. I'm not really sure. I'm just driving down the road. Killing time. Wife's out of town. Woohoo! Did I say that out loud? Wife's out of town. My daughter's at the house doing whatever she does. We've got an adult daughter that lives with us. I've worked all day. Walked the dog already. And Mr. Vincent, we've been at the church also, and man, I got about an hour free time before the sun sets. I figured, what the heck? Let me roll the bike out. I haven't rode it in a while. So, all right, everybody, you be blessed. You be blessed, and those of you that are getting snow, I think there's a big snowstorm coming along. No, it's 65 in South Georgia, warmer in Florida. So with that all, you all be blessed, and I will talk to you later. God bless. Bye.